Hi everyone, I just wanted to give you a brief overview about your adapted lesson plan assignment. There are a number of things posted on D2L that will help you be successful in completing it, but I wanted to just give you an extra little personal boost. So the first thing you're going to do is select a 7th grade social studies lesson, and you can get that from a social studies teacher, or if you want you can look online and find one. And then you'll find a case study on D2L for Matthew, and he's the student that you're going to be adapting the lesson for. So the first thing I'd like for you to do is to align at least one, if not more, state standards for a 7th grade student that go along with your social studies lesson. And so you'll find that with the Arizona State Department of Education website, where you should be familiar by now, and hopefully that'll be an easy process for you. Then I want you to be thinking about individualized tools for Matthew, and I want you to begin by selecting just one app that you feel like would lend itself towards either adapting the lesson for him, or allowing him greater access, or allowing him to understand content a little bit better. But one app, and I want you to describe it, and of course describe why you feel like it would be a good match for your lesson. The next thing I want you to do is think about 3 vocabulary words, and these are vocabulary words that will take your content and help make it more meaningful for Matthew. So for example, if your lesson is about lava, the vocabulary word might be hot, for example. So 3 vocabulary words that might be meaningful that you could make those connections with to that lesson. The next one is I want you to select 3 websites. So these could be fun. Of course, they need to be age appropriate. He's in 7th grade, but something that might engage him or help him interact with the material a little more, to expand beyond just the lesson, but to help him conceptualize some of the things in maybe a more fun way or an exploratory way, either one. The next thing is for you to write a learning objective. And again, you can do more than one, but I want this to be in the voice of the student. So it should say, I will be able to, and then I want you to say what the actual skill is that that student will be able to do. So keep in mind, nothing passive, so you can't say, I will be able to understand, or I will be able to participate, or I'll be able to know. You need to say something specific, like I will be able to point to something, or select something, or respond to something, etc. The next thing is I want you to think about what adaptations that you need to have in place. And so that can be modifying a number of things. It could be something as simple as changing the number of, say, for example, sentences he's supposed to write, or definitions he's supposed to develop. But I want you to really also think about specific adaptations that you might need to create in order for him to be successful within your lesson. And next are your strategies, and those should come specifically from your readings, and there's more information about that on D2L, but I want you to be very specific at this point in the semester with what strategies you would use as a teacher to support the student's learning within your lesson. And the next one is related service providers who could be on board with you. So when you think specifically of your adaptations and your strategies, who else might be involved in the process of developing those, or helping support Matthew in an extension of those kinds of things? So who's going to be your partner in that process? And then finally, how are you going to involve Matthew's peers in the lesson? What sort of things are you going to have the peers do? How are you going to prepare them? What is their expectation? Will it be shared learning? So plan for the peers. And then finally, I want you to actually handwrite, and so you'll probably have to scan or do some copying. And honestly, if you don't want to handwrite it, if you want to do something else creative, but I want you to fill out an entire intentional teaching form. So that'll be the spaces this logo here doesn't show, the spaces where the Venn diagram intersects. So you'll have opportunities and skills and instruction, and then also assessment, the kinds of things you would want to know prior to doing this lesson, and your related service providers and your adaptations. And the assessment is the one piece that is not specifically delineated in this assignment, but I do want you to write in this part of the assignment, in the intentional teaching protocol, what kind of information you would need to know about Matthew, what assessment information would be helpful in deciding on what kinds of adaptations and strategies you would use. And so that's it. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you've got any questions, and I hope you have fun with this assignment.